Hello, friends. Welcome to Brainworms, your sexy anime boy podcast of the week. I'm Joe.
I'm David.
I'm not David.
And I'm Chris, and I am Kawaii desu.
And last week we went on a wild fucking tangent about Grand Theft Auto that kind of ran out the clock. So we're going to jump back into Chuck Tingle's upset Tromp supporter adventures. I guess not much to say at this point. If you don't know who Chuck Tingle is, just follow him on any social media and improve your quality of life.
Yeah, definitely. He's a
soul.
national treasure and should be respected as such.
No, I'm going to make a different suggestion. Ignore all that they just said. Go to Google, go to image search, put in Chuck Tingle, and turn the safety filters off. And then improve your quality of life.
I mean, whatever works for you, but just get to know Chuck on a personal level.
Yeah.
Get that
Learn
tingle in
about
your
it.
life.
Yep, you need that tingle.
We all need that tingle.
Now more than ever.
So yeah, we're going to dive into that. Again, quick warning, we're going to be having a pretty serious discussion, lighthearted but also serious, about real-world politics.
And penises.
In the year of our Lord. And penises and a lot of butt ramming and things of that nature.
And being pounded in the butt.
Pounded in the butt.
Has Chuck actually made it public what his sexual preferences are? I'm curious.
He is incredibly pansexual, is my understanding.
I figured. I don't know why. I got
seems
that.
to track.
Yeah, I got that vibe off of him.
Yeah, because he's also written a book about climbing a sentient mountain and having sex with a sentient mountain.
It's true. So just as pansexual as you can possibly get.
Mountain sexual.
Yeah.
Sexual.
Is that the sexuality of that guy that climbs in his boxers?
Wim Hof, yes. Wim Hof is a mountain sexual.
So yeah, if any of that subject matter, either butt pounding or politics, are gonna give you a bad day, then maybe skip this episode.
Yeah, you probably should just turn it off now.
Probably. Or if just the sounds of our horrible squawking voices are going to put you in a bad place, which...
Unless you're into that.
Unless that.
Look, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm leaving.
Okay, just fucking go then. You know, we don't even need you here. I'm just going to remind the listeners while you storm off into the furnace. We have a website, wegiveyoubbrainworms.com, where you can find our other projects, find our social media, support us financially, and you can shout directly at us via the Shout at Us link. So yeah, that seems fine.
I open my eyes slowly, noticing that the sun is shining at just the right angle through my bedroom blinds. It dances across my eyelids, lifting me up from a deep slumber and instantly making me wish I could return to the warm embrace of dreamland. These days, I hate waking up. It's been 6 months since Tromp lost the election, and I'm still having trouble believing this is the world we live in. Fortunately, the complete and utter collapse of modern civilization that I was predicting hasn't happened yet, but I found myself faced with a whole host of other unexpected problems. It seems there were countless things in my life that had been left neglected while worshipping Tromp, and many of them have withered and died. My relationship, which I'd completely forgotten about, has ended, and most of my friends decided to cut ties long ago when my support for Lord Tromp reached a fever pitch. I finally managed to reconnect with one of my buddies who'd cut and run months earlier, but he didn't seem ready to forgive my antiquated views. Honestly, I'm not sure what he's talking about, but then again, I'm not really sure of much these days. Time seems to have collapsed, the hours bleeding together in an endless mass of nothingness.
He's got the fucking knives out in this one.
Uh-huh. And I'm loving every goddamn
I'm not so sure this is
second of it.
specifically aimed at Trump supporters as much as it is extreme.
What? Wait. No. We need to unpack that.
No, it is. There's no other person this could be aimed at.
You're not sure that this is aimed at Trump supporters.
Like, I feel like what this is, the whole thing with Trump, that's just because he's writing in a time where Trump is part of the presidential whatever. This feels like a much harder stab at extremism, to me at least.
No.
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying. I see where you're coming from, but I do respectfully disagree. I think this is It feels like a stab at extremism because Trump is a fucking fascist and his supporters are extremist fascists.
Mm-hmm.
And really, at the end of the day, all extremism looks the same. But what I'm feeling here, and the reason this cuts so deeply and feels so accurate,
Mm-hmm.
is because he's having a Trump supporter living through the nightmare that all of us were experiencing 4 years ago this time.
Yeah.
Again, the world didn't collapse 6 months after Donald Trump won the White House.
It took 3 years.
It took about 3 years, yeah. And it may still be salvageable, although personally I'm not really betting on the Democrats being able to get out of their own asses long enough to make anything actually happen.
No, I'm not optimistic about that.
I'm really excited about Biden.
I mean,
really.
At this point, the bar is so low.
Mm-hmm.
Just not having the president tweet aggressively at his political opponents is going to be a very positive experience. Just that in general.
Sure. I mean, if you spend 4 years being fed nothing but live scorpions, then you might enjoy the change of pace that is dry white toast.
Have you ever heard the story of the scorpion and the frog?
I have. I've told that story.
Have you heard the story of the Scorpion King starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
I have.
Why is he so charming?
Have you heard the story of the upset Trump supporter pounded in the ass?
Only about half of it.
Well, let's continue.
I think that was a good conversation to have in the context of what we're reading.
I stand up and shuffle into the kitchen, looking around for some food and then realizing there's nothing left. My year's supply of Tromp steaks has gone bad surprisingly early. I should probably go grocery shopping, but I'd need money for that, and I stopped showing up at work long ago in order to drive around town with my Tromp flags. Now that Tromp is gone, nothing matters. I turn around, heading back toward the bedroom when suddenly there's a loud knock on the front door of my apartment. I should be surprised and excited at the prospect of a visitor, but I can't seem to muster the emotion. It's not Lord Daddy Tromp, the only man to reach the end of pi. But who cares? Tromp Jong-il. Still, I should probably see who it is. I shuffle over to the door and slowly open it up, squinting as my eyes adjust to the light. Hello? I groan. Hey, Bill, comes a warm, cheery voice. How's it going? Shitty, I tell him. Didn't you hear? Trump lost the election. I did hear that, the figure replies, their shape finally coming into focus. I can now make out the form of my caller, finding that a large, muscular ballot box is standing on the stoop before me.
Is he naked?
He's clean-cut and handsome, smiling with knowing confidence. Who are you? I question.
I'm just trying to imagine.
Me too.
The ballot box.
Oh my god, me too.
I'm actually trying not to imagine it.
Hurts brain balls.
I like that the main character's name is Bill because as of this moment, I am now officially imagining him as the Bill from the Schoolhouse Rock.
Nice. I like your style. I'm just a Bill. Yes, I'm only a Bill.
And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Yeah, that's timely.
God, we're old. How much of, specifically this episode, is just us being sad old fuckers watching the world change around us?
All of it. And not just this episode, Joe. I got some bad news.
And I'm not even 30 yet.
Oh, man. I made myself sad. I'm going to go.
You can't go.
No.
But I'm going to go ahead and jump in the furnace.
Well, if I can't go, you can't go.
We're stuck with this.
Just make a new me once this one's finished burning.
David, read the book, please.
Who are you? I question. I'm the physical manifestation of your search for meaning now that your bigoted cult leader has been voted out of office. But you can call me Porp, the ballot box informs me. I've been here for a while, but I figured it was finally time to introduce myself. Go away, I counter. I don't want to go on some adventure of self-discovery. I just want to mourn. I start to close the door.
That's... wow.
This adventure involves a good pound in the butt. My manifested search for a meaningful life without Tromp
That's
flirts.
a sales pitch.
It is. It's a good one.
I stop, then open the door again. Really? I question.
Hang on,
I mean-
real quick. I'm just imagining someone like knocking on a door, like, "Have you heard the great story of Mormonism?" No, and you go to shut the door, and they say, "There's butt sex." And like, wait, what did you say?
I'm going to let you finish.
I think that one of my favorite things about the last couple of days, though, has been seeing the sheer number of people, specifically gay men, on my Facebook feed who are just thirsty over the photos of Jake and Jelly. Because I know it would really make him upset. Like, at least I assume. I don't know. I don't know enough about the guy to know what his stance on homosexuality is. I mean, the giant Yggdrasil tattooed on his chest probably marks him as a racist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say that everyone who has Norse iconography on them is a racist, because I know a fair number of people who are, heathens that are not also racists. But
Although there is a surprising overlap between those ethos.
oh yeah, it's real.
That's why I would never go to an Amon Amarth
Where
concert.
that suspicion
Right.
you're talking about, where that comes from, I'm pretty sure, is that Hitler was pretty absorbed in the Norse mythology. So I'm pretty sure that I'm with you. I'm not saying that anyone who's into Norse, like, I'm into Norse mythology. It's just
Sure, yeah.
like
I stand
there are some dots to connect in the history of the humanity.
Sure.
Right. I mean, sex is a pretty good way to find joy, Porp offers. I know you think worshipping Tromp is the greatest thing ever, but is it really better than sex? I consider this for a moment. You really have to think about that one, huh? The physical manifestation of my search for meaning offers, letting out a long sigh of disappointment. Let's go for a walk. Who cares about walking without Tromp? I question mournfully. Just give it a shot, is all that Porp can manage to get out, clearly growing frustrated. I finally relent, stepping out into the sunlight and joining this physical manifestation as we make our way down the front steps and turn right on the sidewalk. Where are we going? I question. You used to love those coconut cookies at the coffee shop on the corner, right? The physical manifestation of my
coconut
search for
cookies.
meaning now that my beloved cult leader has been removed from office offers.
I like making you read that without pausing.
Yep.
I'm willing to bet if you try a bite with an open mind, you'll realize there's still some good out here in the world.
I do want some coconut cookies, though.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I let out a long sigh. But will anyone respect me without my Tromp flags? It feels weird going anywhere without them. I'm going to be straight up with you. Nobody respected your Tromp flags, Porp informs me. Maybe one or two of your friends did, but they were all idiots. It really just revealed you to be a hateful, intolerant bigot. No way, I counter. Yes way, Porp continues.
Yahweh.
The first step of moving on is accepting the fact that you had some pretty ass-backward ideas, and then making up for them. You might not realize it just yet, but pictures of you waving Tromp flags are going to be pretty mortifying several decades from now. I mean, they're mortifying now, to be fair, but you know what I mean. I really don't know what you mean, I offer. Porp lets out a frustrated sigh. Okay. What is it that you actually liked about Tromp? He was mean to the people I don't like, I admit. He called them names and stuff.
I love how not fucking around.
Yeah,
this
like
book is.
Chuck doesn't waste a lot of time.
No. Because coming off of Butt Raptor, I expected this to be much more lighthearted in its parody, and it is fucking not.
No, it's razor fucking sharp. Yeah.
Just unsubtle.
And cutting right to the issue.
Not even just
Yeah.
razor sharp, like electric razor sharp. Like when they cut you, you also get zapped. So like,
Right. And where did that get anyone? My search for meaning questions. Is your life any better today than it was before you started worshipping Tromp? More importantly, is the life of these people you don't like any better? Did they come to your side? Did any opinions change? Was a middle ground reached? I guess not, I admit, shaking my head. I immediately recognize a crack in the armor that I've built up around my mind. a small sliver of light shining through into the darkness. Porp is right to ask these questions. Now I'm realizing just how afraid of the answers I really am. What was all this for? We arrive at the coffee shop and head inside. I know exactly what I'm looking for, heading up to the counter and purchasing one of the coconut cookies that I used to love so much.
I'm still thinking about those cookies.
The barista, Connor, gives me a strange look as I order, acting much colder than I remember. That was weird, I offer to Porp as we head back out the door. Not really, the sentient physical manifestation of my search for meaning retorts. Your Tromp support just made him feel unwelcome in his own neighborhood every time you wore it. That's why you wore it. It seemed fun at the time, I offer, starting to feel even more disappointed in myself. I was owning the libs. It seemed fun because all of Tromp's hate made you feel like the whole world was behind you, cheering you on, Porp continues. The truth is, the whole world just thought you were an idiot. Again, the wall that I've built around my mind cracks, letting in even more glorious warmth. At this point, I'm starting to crave the love and positivity, starting to appreciate a world where I don't have to craft an entire identity around my support for an authoritarian political figure.
I wish I had an identity.
Me too. You would be a lot more fun to hang out with.
Ouch. Although also accurate, I mean, not saying Joe doesn't have an identity, but I guess a person without one would not be fun.
Right.
I don't know. I'm in the weeds on this one.
You tried.
No, Joe, that is your personality.
His lack of identity. I'm
a bad friend.
brand.
I'm going to go jump in the furnace now. Hopefully, when I download my consciousness into the next Not David, we can make it a little nicer.
No, I don't see that happening.
That's baked into
We
your
tried,
identity,
and the
sir.
clone came out
Yeah.
screaming, "Kill me, kill me, kill me," until we killed it.
Yeah, we're not good at cloning. And yeah, the more we try to fiddle with you to make you better, the more you just beg to die.
Okay.
Speaking of being in the weeds.
Yeah, let's finish this book, David.
I stop walking for a moment, staring down at the cookie in my hand. I haven't tasted it yet, worried that it's going to be nothing but bland and dry in this new world without Lord Daddy Tromp.
I really like that they keep calling him Lord Dad.
Yeah.
It's kind of my favorite thing.
I take a bite and chew slowly. A smile begins to make its way out across my face. It's delicious, I announce. See? My search for meaning offers. I feel as though I'm erupting from a mental cage of darkness, escaping the shackles that have dragged me down for so long. I feel free. I also feel deeply disturbed by my previous behavior. It's like the movie Soul,
I'm not familiar with that movie.
only with more butt sex and Tromp worship.
That's a sentence that just came out of your mouth.
Yep.
We're gonna write that on your tombstone.
I glance over at Porp, who's eyeing me closely. He knows what I'm thinking. It's going to take some hard work to get you back to a middle ground, the living concept informs me. You're in the hole right now. I know, I admit. Where do I start? Well, some donations and charity work would be great, but you've been through a lot. For today, why don't you just try and find some joy in the world? Without thinking about Tromp, of course, Porp offers. We've got your cookie. What's next? I haven't been laid in a while, I admit. You mentioned something about that earlier, didn't you? A mischievous grin begins to creep its way across the ballot box's face.
I don't know how that works.
I'm happy to imagine it. Yeah, it's weird, though.
It's weird.
Now I'm just imagining what mischievous sex would be like. Like, would you be doing it and all of a sudden a whoopee cushion in between the two of you?
You wear honky clown noses when you're doing it.
Yeah. Let's go play a game of hide the sausage. The second Porp and I return to my apartment, our hands are all over one another, kissing passionately as we slam the door behind us and stumble into my living room. The sentient manifestation of my search for meaning begins to frantically pull away my clothing and toss it to the side, revealing my nude body to the warm afternoon air. Still, I can't help feeling a shiver run the length of my spine in anticipation of what's to come. The world has so much more to offer than supporting a bigoted buffoon, and I can't wait to dive in. I work my hands lower and lower across Porp's ballot box form, the physical manifestation closing his eyes tight and letting out a long, satisfied groan as I continue to tease him. My attention starts on his chest and then works its way down to his gloriously chiseled abs, but I hesitate before taking things further. Instead, I let the tension build between us, tracing my finger along the concept's waistline as I watch his cock swell and engorge. Please, the physical manifestation of my search for meaning whimpers. This single word falling out of his mouth as an aching, desperate plea. Finally, I have mercy, reaching down and wrapping my hand tight around the living concept's giant dick. I begin to pump my hand slowly across Porp's rod, taking my time with him as the two of us gradually fall into a rhythm together. I take note of the way his hips push back against me, matching his internal groove as the pleasure begins to build. Of course, it's not long before I'm craving even more from this muscular ballot box. Without a word, I drop to my muscles. Democracy so strong. Without a word, I drop to my knees
make
before...
David read smut.
I'm sorry, what?
I like when we make David read smut.
Without a word, I drop to my knees before Porp, gazing up at him with cock-hungry eyes and then opening wide to swallow his giant shaft.
Cock-hungry
Hey, I guess
eyes.
that makes him a cock-hungry slot.
Ooh.
Snip, snap.
I immediately get to work, matching the pace we've already established as I suck him off. Oh, fuck. That feels so good. The sentient manifestation moans, leaning his head back and shutting his eyes tight.
If anyone joins our $5 and up Patreon tier, I will cut that out and convert it to an MP3 for you to use as a ringtone.
I keep going, reaching up and cradling his balls as I give this oral performance everything I've got. Our speed keeps escalating, and soon enough I'm slamming my face onto his cock as hard as I can. With nowhere left to go, I finally pull back and center myself. When I'm ready, I open wide and consume Porp's cock yet again, only this time I don't move back and forth. Instead, I take the sentient search for meaning all the way down into my throat, somehow managing to relax my gag reflex and allow him passage into my depths. The next thing I know, my face is pressed up hard against his incredible abs, the living concept's hands against the back of my head as he holds me in place. I remain like this for as long as I possibly can, showing off this perfectly performed deep throat until I finally run out of air and pull back with a sputtering gasp. I'm belligerent with lust now, ready to give myself over to Porp completely. I turn around and fall forward onto my hands and knees, popping out my ass toward the sentient manifestation of my search for meaning as I crawl across the floor with as much swagger as I can muster. I reach back and give my ass cheek a playful slap, holding myself open for him and allowing the living concept a good look at what I'm working with. Fuck me, I demand. Fuck me like my shitty opinions fucked over so many people for 4 years.
God damn.
God fucking damn it.
It's the only way I can move past this and start over. Well, it's not the only way, Porp offers with a smile, climbing down into position behind me. Like I said, some community work and donations to progressive charities would be nice.
We don't deserve Chuck
But
Tingle.
it's a fun way. We really, really don't.
The ballot box is awfully kind to pretend to find this person attractive and all of their little sexy ass slappings, whatever, because considering that this was a person that forgot about his wife, I'm assuming that, like, you know, they didn't do much other than just sit around and eat. So, like, I'm picturing, like, a not in shape person, you know?
Hey, man, you know, everybody deserves love.
I'm not saying he doesn't.
That's the larger point, is that, yeah, everybody deserves to, you know, be told that they're attractive.
It's true. It's true. Even if he is a round neckbeard. I mean, I know who I'm picturing in my head. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I can feel his enormous rod teasing the limits of my puckered back door,
Nice.
resting against my anal seal, and then finally pushing through as a startled gasp escapes my lips. After taking this manifestation's rod in my throat, I figured I was anally prepared for his incredible size.
Those two things... what?
I mean, at least getting a feel for how large it is. Like, you at least aren't completely... It's not out of left field or anything, you know?
I just need to find a sex.
You do. You really do. I was wrong. Holy shit, I blurt. That dick is fucking huge.
Again, if you would like a custom Brainworms podcast ringtone, please subscribe at the $5 and up a month
And if
level.
you
I'm gonna have
subscribe
that for free.
for $10, you get a free bumper sticker with your recording.
I'll bump your sticker.
I don't recall anything about stickers. A caring lover, Porp holds tight within me. Instead of pumping in and out, he remains in my depths and allows me a moment to adjust to his girth, waiting until the discomfort gradually slips away. Soon enough, a feeling of pleasant, aching fullness begins to wash through me, and before long the sentient manifestation of my search for meaning and me are rocking together with graceful pumps.
Wanna rock steady.
Just like that. Just like that, I begin to repeat over and over again, my eyes rolling back into my head as he pounds me from behind. It's not long before our pace begins to quicken, transforming into a ferocious pound as Porp slams my body. I brace myself against the weight of the ballot box, my fingers digging into the floor below as the carnal pleasure continues to build. Soon enough, I can feel the first hints of orgasm spilling out across my body, starting at the pit of my stomach and then filling me with an incredible warmth unlike anything I've ever experienced. I begin to tremble and quake, the feelings within simply too much to contain. Meanwhile, I reach down between my legs and grab a hold of my hanging cock, beating myself off in time with the sentient concept's powerful slams.
Getting a lot of flashbacks to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Butt Raptor.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
Oh my god! I scream. I'm gonna fucking come! Porp doesn't let up for a second as the climax overwhelms me, pounding away at my butthole with everything he's got. I clench my teeth as every nerve within my frame fires in unison, my muscles tensing and releasing in spastic fits as a hot payload of milky jizz erupts from the head of my shaft. The cum splatters out across my living room floor in beautiful patterns of white.
all right.
Soon enough, the sentient manifestation of my search for meaning, now that my beloved cult leader has been voted out, is coming as well, howling wildly as he blasts his hot load within. I can feel his spunk filling me up, packing my ass with seed, and then the liquid spilling forth in pearly streaks when he finally pulls out. Oh, fuck, I groan, collapsing to the floor. That was incredible.
And now you're stuck to the floor, and you've got cum all over your stomach.
If I had a nickel.
That's going to be hard to get out of the carpet.
It is, yeah. I hope he has hardwood.
Oh, he's got something that's hard.
He's got some hardwood, all right.
He's got hardwood, yeah.
Yeah, it's filling up his ass.
Are we just going to stretch the joke until it snaps? Is that the
We're
plan?
going to stretch it like the physical form of his becoming stretched his sphincter. That was worth it. We're moving on.
The two of us remain like this for a good while, just basking in the moment while we catch our breath. I'm lost in thought, feeling satisfied but also gravely disappointed in myself and in the things I once believed. I can see there's more to the world than just supporting an asshole politician, I offer. A lot more. Good, the ballot box replies with a nod. What's next? I question. Porp laughs. What's next is not my responsibility, he explains. I just got the ball rolling, and technically, that's because I'm part of you. Oh yeah, I stammer. I guess you are. The point is, you've got a lot of work to do. and it's nobody else's responsibility to explain how that work needs to be done. Everyone else was working toward love while you were basking in hate, so they don't owe you anything. Understood, I reply. I don't know if you'll ever live it down, Porp continues, but figuring that out is your journey, not ours. Just gonna sit with that for a moment.
Just sit in that, yeah.
I know probably some of them will be figuring that out from a federal prison, but,
Well. Whee!
I nod, then climb to my feet, opening up the blinds and letting the light stream into my apartment for the first time in months. I've got a big grind ahead of me. Whether or not it's enough for me to atone isn't my call.
He's got a big grind behind him, too.
Yeah, he does.
Whether or not it's enough for me to atone isn't my call. It's everyone else's. And I wouldn't be surprised if they never forgave me. Hell, I don't know if I'll ever forgive myself. But I'm gonna put in the work. And that's it.
That's awesome.
That was really good.
That was a great fucking book. Thank
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
Chuck Tingle. We don't fucking deserve you.
No, tweet at Chuck Tingle when this episode goes live next week.
Fuck that. I'm
please.
tweeting at him right now.
Yeah, do it. Tell him he's our hero and we love him.
I would like to say that there is a second book inside of this book,
Uh-huh.
because that's just Chuck's style, or seems to be. Some say that love is the soul of books, and what better way to show a little love than with a free gift? Here to tingle you to the core is a bonus story for your reading pleasure.
That's pretty cool.
Lindsey Ram's ass is haunted by the physical manifestation of his hypocritical words about not filling a vacant Supreme Court seat during an election year, which he specifically asked to haunt him.
God fucking damn it. I mean, we're certainly not reading that now, but I am intrigued.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got a copy of this too now, right?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, no, it's a one-way.
We never really got a lot of names of the characters, or did I miss that?
I mean, there were only two, and one of them was a sentient manifestation.
We actually, there was
Porp.
Derek.
Oh,
and
Derek.
Derek was the friend whose house he went to on election day,
Mhm.
and the main character was Bill, and Porp was the sentient manifestation of his search for meaning,
Mhm.
and his wife's name
Amber.
was Amber, yeah, and Derek's wife name was
At Chuck
Lady
Tingle.
Gaga.
You may
No.
not be the hero we deserve, Chuck Tingle, but you are the hero we need. Thank you, good sir. Thank you. Brainworms Podcast, really love you.
That's awesome.
And then I'm doing hashtags National Treasure, hashtag Dr. Chuck Tingle, hashtag We Love You, Chuck.
Nice.
fantastic.
Hopefully
I
he
approve.
likes it, because that would really be a feather in our cap.
It would.
Did you said you tweeted at him once before? Did he respond to that?
No, he did not. I retweeted something that he did.
Oh, okay.
I mean, aside from just gushing about how much love, at least I can't speak for everyone, obviously, just loved everything about what just happened, I don't have a ton to add.
No.
Yeah, no.
I mean, yeah, that was fantastic, and really
The ending was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of why. Like the book did the job for me. I don't really have much to say.
Yeah, usually the commentary comes out of incompetence, and there's not a lot of that here. Not very
Yeah.
much at all.
I say it again, Chuck Tingle, you are a national fucking treasure, and we love you.
Absolutely. And I know our podcast here is more about bringing the funny than anything else most of the time, but just as an aside for a brief moment, because it is relevant, because as we record this, it is January 8th.
Mhm.
In Moon Time, there's a conversion.
And so some big shit went down just a couple of days ago. And I just have to say, I'm not mad about people being mad.
Right.
But when I spent the entirety of the last year seeing incredible violent response
Mhm.
to people just coming together to say, hey,
Stop killing
please
us.
stop violently
Yeah.
responding to us.
Yeah.
And then some people showed up and actively, literally broke federal law, armed with fucking bombs and like zip cuffs. And the response was to let them in.
Right.
I don't think there is any coming back from that. I don't. I don't think that there is any return to normal from that.
Yeah, we're in a whole new world in January of 2021, and I don't know what comes after.
And I'm gonna keep reading funny books and doing my thing and living my life because that's all I can do.
That's all you can do. Just try to be the best version of yourself that you can.
Right.
In the wake of all that shit.
All I'm saying is in Chuck we trust.
In Chuck we trust.
Chuck for president.
I'd probably vote for Chuck Tingle for president. I mean,
absolutely.
Why not? Clearly fucking anyone can do the job at least for 4 years. I mean, not well, but we've established now that clearly all you need to be president is literally name recognition. So maybe that's something to work on. I don't know. Maybe it would be a better world if people got as excited about politicians as they do about fucking mumble rappers. I don't know. I'm sounding like an old man, I know, but fuck.
Yeah. Hey, you said butt fuck.
Butt fuck.
Should we go back out into the sunlight?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I mean,
I'm not going into the sunlight. I mean, I guess I'm going into something like the sun.
Yeah, we're going to launch you into the sun. That's
don't go out into the sunlight on the moon. There's no atmosphere to filter the rays. Like it'll suck.
Yeah.
It will. Yeah, that's a hell of a sunburn.
I have a furnace.
It was metaphorical going out into the
furnace is
sunlight.
powering up. As far as my cells are concerned, it's the same intensity as the sun.
I envy you.
Well, I mean, since you bastards forced me to upload my memory into this hard drive, which it's starting to get kind of sticky. I don't know what the fuck happens when I go into the furnace, but somebody's been fiddling with my hard drive. I am going to start setting traps in this room.
Let's remind the listeners.
If you want to host brainworms in your brain.
Yeah, if you what?
Like hosting a parasite.
Oh, yeah. If you want to absorb our words into your cortex, then we are on most platforms where podcasts are. Obviously. Why am I saying... Fuck, God damn it, Chris. You threw off my whole thing. Let me take two. That if you go to WeGiveYouBrainworms.com, you can find all of the places that you can find us. And we have the Patreon.com, where if you can comfortably afford it, you can donate something to the show. I'm pretty serious about if people patron and there's interest, I will cut any fucking thing that came out of David's mouth in this episode into an MP3. And you can do it, and you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, absolutely. We can custom ringtones from the Brainworms recording.
Yeah. And if you're a YouTube listener, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell. Am I forgetting anything important?
We love you.
We love you. Hopefully the world is going to get better and not worse.
Whoa. They love you. I tolerate you.
We're not sure if Kaine is capable of feeling love.
I tolerate you.
I certainly love the nutrients that your brain provides.
All right.
We're getting in the weeds again. Thank you for listening.
Button.
I'm going to push the button. Goodbye. This has been a production of Brainworms Podcast. Any copyrighted content contained within is used for purposes of review. Brainworms Podcast is David Combs, Kaine Magdalen, Christian Schaefer, and Joseph Wells. The theme music is Hodgepod No. 1 by Brian Davis. If you like what you heard, you can support us and learn about our other projects at WeGiveYouBrainworms.com or by leaving a review on your favorite listening app. Still thinking about
butt sex and Tromp worship.